19. Use a graphing calculator to solve the following. Now, I see a quadratic on this side, and I see quadratic here, and this is an absolute value. So what I want to do is, if I want to solve something, I'm looking for their intersections, okay? So this is really, really hard to solve algebraically. I don't even know if I could do it. I'd have to really think about it. But if I have a graphing calculator, that's totally fine. I just need to find out where they can intersect with each other. Now, the highest number of solutions I could possibly have would be 2. If I had a quadratic passing through that, okay, I could have none. All right, or I could just have 1. Okay, I mean there's 3 possibilities. So let's go ahead and type it in. Y equals. I've got some stuff there from calculus. Just going to clear it. The first equation will go into y1. So remember how this works. y1 equals the first equation. y2 is the second equation. All right. So I have the absolute value. Now, absolute value button is in math, and it's math. We move over to number, and that ABS is absolute value. I hit enter. So I get x plus 3, push over, minus 1, push down for parentheses x plus 2, close parentheses, and then just square it. Squaring button right here. Okay, that should be good. Now, don't hit graph. Remember, we want to do a zoom standard to modify the window. Okay, so not sure if it hits once or twice. So what's got to happen is I have to definitely zoom in. So I hit zoom. I will zoom in, and I will actually move my cursor closer to where all the action is. It looks like it's happening here and here, but I'm just not sure. So I'm going to zoom in right there. When I hit enter, there's my absolute value. 1, 2. Okay, perfect. So this means that now I can actually hit second calculate to go to the intersect. So second calculate, go to the intersect, hit enter. Now remember, all of your graph buttons are here. Okay, everything that has to do with the graph is up here. So if you forget where, just press until you kind of see the intersect function. And you hit enter. What we're going to do is we're going to go close to this one first. Okay, so hit enter. I'll move this guy to the other side of it. Hit enter. And I don't know why they have this guess question mark. Okay, but it's irrelevant. I'm going to hit enter, and it looks like it intersects at -2, 0. So there's 1. Okay. Now I go to the other one. Second calculate, intersect. But now I'm going to push over to this guy so it knows what intersection I'm talking about. I hit enter. Second curve, I'll go to the other side of it. Guess. -1, 1. Okay, so for this particular problem, it's about 50-50. I think it was, particularly easy, but I don't know what happened. Calculator is doing most of the heavy lifting. Okay, use a calculator to find cat. My cat is like crawling up the screen outside. He just wants to go in, out, and he doesn't make up his mind. It's driving me absolutely crazy. All right, so now I have a new absolute value graph to put in my calculator. So I'm going to clear this out. And I want to know when this absolute value is greater than or equal to 0. All right. Now, a lot of you, your answer looked like you put this absolute value, when is it less than or equal to 0? And that's totally wrong, right? That's the wrong interval. So you got to be really careful. That is greater than. This direction points to the larger numbers. All the larger numbers go to the right on the number line. So if they're larger, greater than. Okay? Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, and yeah, anyways. Okay, let's go. 2. Absolute value. So we go to the ABS, which is in math. That's push over to number. I don't know why it's in number, but what are you going to do? X plus 2. All right, push it out. The parenthesis or the absolute value mark. Hit enter. We're good. Now I'm going to zoom standard because remember I had already zoomed in previously, so I might not even see this guy. So zoom standard. Okay. Now it looks like there's 2 pieces that are greater than 0. There's this piece that is above the x-axis. Now this is less than 0 down here. And then this piece is above. But you can see that it's not quite on the 0 marks, and it looks like it's going to be a decimal. And that's totally fine, because I'm just going to zoom in. Okay. In fact, I could do better. I'm going to do second calculate, but I'm going to find zeros. All right. So not intersections. Intersection would mean I would need a y2. I don't have a y2. I have a y1. But I want to know when it does actually intersect the x-axis. So if I go to second calculate and go to 0, it knows that I'm going to talk about the x-axis. So I'll go to this one first. Okay, I'm going to move to the left of the 0 there. Hit enter. Then I will push to the right of the 0. Push enter. And you can see that these 2 marks means I want the 0 that's located in between these 2 arrows, this interval here. And when I hit enter, it gives me negative 3.5. So x equals negative 3.5. Okay, 0 at. Okay, now I have another one. So I'm going to go second calc, go to 0. But now I'm going to move closer to this guy. All right, I'm going to go to the left of that 0. Okay, somewhere in there. Hit enter. Then I will move to the right of it. Hit enter. Then I will just hit enter for guess. Negative 0.5. All right, but I'm not done. I just found out my zeros. I want the whole interval from which this is positive. So I am positive all the way from negative infinity to negative 3.5. Then I go negative. So I'm not going to include the negative interval in my positive interval. So I will have the u. Then I will move from negative 0.5 all the way to positive infinity. All right? So that clearly dictates all of the positive, where my actual values will be positive. All right? They all fall within that interval. All right, it didn't ask me about the negative. Okay, then the arrow would have been pointing in the other direction. All right.